Blog Talk Radio.
Contra Radio Network, Preparedness Radio, with your host, John Jeffers.
And good evening, I'm John Jeffers. Welcome to another episode of Contra Radio Network. You know, tonight I have a question from a listener that was emailed a few days ago, and his name is Logan. I'm not going to tell you where he's from, but his name's Logan. And before we get started with that, what I want to do is we got a couple issues we have to clear up. One is the ammo cans. I got a call from Terry. The ammo cans have gone way over what we were planning on paying for. The auction we were looking at, Terry said the last time he checked on the price, there were a pallet, get this, a pallet of ammo cans. The ones we were looking at trying to grab, the price had reached $24,000. So by doing that, that means we could, even if we were to get them, we could never sell them for what we wanted to. And that is make a very small profit at that. And so with, that kind of a price, there's just, no way. They'd have to sell their ammo cans for at least $30 or so. So for those of you that emailed me, and, I just got to tell you, it's just not going to happen, guys. I am as disappointed as you are about it. I don't like it, but that's the way, the market works, I suppose. Don't like it. So, and, I don't know that, Terry and I, even if we wanted to, we could scrape up $24,000 or more just to get a pallet of ammo cans and then get stuck with them because we have to charge so much just to try to cover our costs. That just doesn't make sense. It wouldn't be fair to you. It's not going to be fair to us, and I'm not going to, and Terry and I are not going to put ourselves and you into that trick bag. Just isn't going to happen. Not now, not ever. I will die and go to hell before I let that happen. Let's hope I don't have to do that now that I said it. Okay, you want to call in and talk tonight? I'm going to need some other advice or as an answer for Logan. Our number is 516-453-9389, 516-453-9389. The Banjo Dog is here with me in the studio, laying down, just doing whatever it is that he does. Or if you want to, you can go to the CRN like page on Facebook. And what I want to do is just let you know, you can join the chat room there. It seems to be rocking and rolling already. Timothy's in the chat room. Brandon's in the chat room. Terry's in the chat room. Jim W.'s in the chat room. Rob's in the chat room. Everybody is in the chat room. Okay. Let's talk about this question that we had. All right. This is an email I got. And I thought, you know what? Let's all try to give Logan an answer here because there's going to be different answers for this. And so I'll read it to you. So just bear with me. He says, I work really odd hours, so I don't get a chance to call in. But a question I have had and really debated is whether I should keep my mutual assistance group or try to combine to make a larger all-in-one group. I have 5 like-minded families. We all have children 5 and under. We frequently discuss issues we face and talk about best practices in preparedness. We are all in very similar situations in life, and we hike and camp together, but we have never really all put it on the table to make a group. Now, it's been mentioned, but everyone is pretty much go-it-alone types, and no one really wants to take the first step in commitment. We all also have been friends for a minimum of 10 years. He says, yours and everyone who calls in, he takes, are appreciated. Okay. That's the question he has. Does he keep the mutual assistance group? Or should he, or how do you put it, combine it to make one large group. Yeah, these are five families involved with children under the age of 5. They've been friends for over 10 years. They go camping and hiking. They all discuss their preparedness issues. The question, is that, everybody nibbles around the edges, but no one wants to take a bite of the sandwich to find out what everyone else is thinking. So I'm curious, what do you listeners think? Now, some of you have been prepping by yourselves. Some have been prepping in a group. What advice can we give to Logan? We got Gary here.
I would have to say, if they've all known each other 10 years, they probably just need to sit down and have an open conversation and see what everybody's opinion is, and then take that next step, whether it's stay where they're at or make a more of a tight-knit group. Because they all got kids in the same age range, and they're all been friends for 10 years. They're probably a little bit, they probably look out for each other anyway, so.
Okay.
And would probably help each other no matter what anyway, so.
I think you're right. Logan, you're going to have to sit down with these people, either individually or all together in a group, and discuss it. Somebody's got to broach the subject. And I'm not talking about nibbling around the edges. I'm talking about just come right out and say it.
The hardcore question. The hardcore question.
Just put it out there. Be done with it. Put it out there. And you're going to find out pretty quick whether people will agree with you or whatnot. They'll have some questions, and they're bound to. What you have to realize is you don't have to have an immediate answer right away. You don't. If you don't know the answer.
No, but you'd rather know now than later, though.
I agree. But I think, you don't, it's okay to say, I don't know. I haven't thought about that much, or I haven't thought along those lines just yet. I don't have an answer. It's okay to say that. It's okay to say, I don't know. Hell, if I had all the answers, like my daughter thinks I do, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be struggling with CRN. I'd be having, you know how it is. Anyways, so that's kind of thing, and Tim is right. Tim says 10 years is enough time to really know each other. If you've known these people for 10 years, well, let me ask you this, because there is a difference. He says they're like-minded. However, when you say you know somebody, how well do you know them? Like, for example, I know a lot of people. On the other hand, I don't know what they do in their basement on the weekends. I don't know them that well. I'm acquainted with them. I know their names. I might know where they live. I might know what they do for a living. But when you say you know them, how well do you know them? I mean, how many people do you know that aren't harboring some people in their in their basements or whatever? You know what I'm saying? You just don't know. And and that's probably true with most people. How well do you really know them? For example, when they arrest a serial killer and they all say, well, he was such a quiet man. He was very nice. He kept his lawn cut all the time. He didn't speak a lot to us, but he was very nice. Okay. My point is, it applies to everybody and also applies in this situation. So maybe that's the way you have to handle it and go from there. It's never easy. Oh, what does Brandon say? Brandon says he tried working out a meeting with everyone and pitched the idea to starting to move that direction with a comms system among the households. That's an excellent idea too. I like that idea because not only you are not having a fruitless, useless meeting. You're actually putting it out there. You say, this is my proposal. First things first. Let's get it so we can all get a hold of each other. Now, if they've known each other 10 years, they probably have their phone numbers and all. But there's always other ways to communicate, which we've discussed many times on this show. So that's not bad. Brandon adds, he says, maybe don't come full out with the idea, but work slowly that way. He says they've been nibbling around the edges for that for a while. They've all talked about it, but no one's, he says it's been mentioned, but everyone is pretty much a go it alone type, and no one really wants to take the first step in commitment. Well, look at it this way, Logan. If you do it, all right, you put it out there, and everybody says, no, well, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. Maybe they're happy being the go it alone types.
Some people are the head and some are the tail.
Right. And you know what? Maybe you don't get all 10. Maybe you get 4. And 4 of you decide, you know what? Yeah, let's pull the resources. Let's make a group. Let's make this happen. Perhaps the other 6 would then think, they might decide to join the group later on. I don't know. My magic 8-ball doesn't work. Well, it works. It just doesn't give very good advice, so I don't follow it all that much. So what is it? I don't know what other answer to kind of give. That's why I put it out here for you listeners. What do you listeners think? Feel free to put it out there, man. Let it happen. Let it. Oh yeah, let it happen. Put it out there. Tim says you'll know if their kids are brats and stuff like that. You'll know who the mechanics, electricians, security specialists, medical specialists, etc. are. That's true. That's all true. Yeah, especially after 10 years of knowing someone. And also, if you've been camping and hiking with these people, who has what skills when they're camping, who knows really what they're doing, how to do it. Maybe they're all equally talented. I don't know. But you've been camping and hiking with them and whatnot. Which leads me to the next thing. I had another email question. Let me find it. Just give me a moment here. Let me see what he's doing there. Where to go? Yes, the COI. Going out to Scott, Justin, and Jim tonight after the show. They asked for it. I'm going to send it to them. Where's the other email we had? Is that it? I don't know. Let me check real quick. Nope, that's not it. We had another. Oh. Okay. Land navigation. No, the monitor's not on the ceiling, Tim. It's up on the next shelf. So there. I got 2 monitors. This one and that one right up there. Question was land navigation. I cannot teach land navigation like this. It just can't be done. My suggestion, if I remember correctly, who is it? Where is it? Let me find it. Let me see. Where do we go with that? Let me go here. Yeah, yes. Sometimes it is. Where'd it go? Come on, kick it up. Nope, that's not it. It never is. Shoot, who got a hold of me on that one? All right. I don't remember who it was that got a hold of it. Berkey Filters likes our video that we posted also, just so you know. Where'd it go? Can't find it now. That figures. All right, look. First thing you got to do is this. You need to get a military-grade Lensatic compass. That's it. That's it. Yes, Rob, correct. You get a gold star tonight. Dale, you asked the question. Here's the answer. You need to get a military Lensatic compass. You could get them. Cost varies. Do not get a cheap one. Get the ones made up to military specs. I think I could probably... I might be able to do it on a video. I don't know. Tim says he's looking for a PDF of a BSA, that's Boy Scouts of America, Orienteering Merit Badge Handbook. Yes, that will help too. I've used this. When I've done it, I've used this book. Oh boy, there it is. Put it over this way. My Soldier's Manual, back from 1983, discusses what? Everything you need to know to be a combat military policeman, including land navigation, which, by the way, is probably true for every military occupational specialty, since it's taught at basic training. You need to know how to read a compass, orient it to the map. There we go. Very good. Thank you, Tim. Let me get this taken care of here. We'll do this, and I will put it immediately onto the CRN page so Dale could get it to it. Okay, here we go. Perfect. I hope that's right. Man, that's really messed up. That's wrong. We will figure this out a little bit later, I think. Yes, we want to exit. Anyways, yes, we will get all that. Thank you, Tim, for getting that in there. Rob wants to know, are there websites to download maps, or do they need to be bought? I'll tell you what I did. I checked out both. I did find a company that will go ahead and print out an area that you specify at the 50,000 to 1 a scale, which is generally used for map orienteering and land navigation. You could also, it's called a military protractor. It's not like, remember the protractors you saw in high school that they made you get for geometry and all the other crap that you never used it for anyways? Remember that? You could, the military protractor is square, and it's broken down into degrees and mils. You got to find those. Now, I was on eBay trying to find these damn things. I can't find them. Terry says he could probably get some, which would be great. In fact, I'll see Terry in about 10 days or so. I'm heading down there for the eclipse and then heading down to his farm for a couple of days and then elsewhere. Austin says, I think that if you know someone to bug in with, your family has to know them first. Maybe have a game night or dinner. If you can handle that, bugging. If you can't handle that, bugging in is going to suck. Jim says, go to almost any surplus store. The only surplus store that I have that's near me, I had two. One was in McHenry. They shut down. They were great. They had everything. And the other is in Waukegan, and I would just as soon slit my wrist and bleed out slowly than go to that one ever again. It is that bad. So, we'll find them. We'll get them out there. Going back to what Austin said, these people said Logan says he's known these people for 10 years. So, obviously, unless, Logan's out burying bodies by himself in the national forest, I'm sure when he goes camping and hiking, he's taking his family with him and all that, so everybody knows everybody. I don't know. He didn't go that far into it. But getting back to Dale's thing about, I will find where that company is. It was very reasonable for the map. They print it out, they put it roll it up, pull it in the little cardboard tube, and mail it to you. I did one. I got like 3 or 4 maps when I taught land navigation, map orientation to my prepper group a few years back. They took the maps. So I got to get them. I said, you know what? Military Square Protractor. All right. Who did it? Tim, you get a gold star tonight as well. So there. Yes. Well, and I was one. Either you can find how much are they asking for them, if you would, Tim. So I'm doing the show. I can tell people. Maybe I'll grab a bunch of those, and for those people that donate to the show, I will send you a protractor, a military protractor. I will do that. All right. Yes. Love it. There you go. Oh, Austin says, as an example, I'm not inviting my friends. They are too weird. They will not have an easy time during an emergency. You know what? Good evaluation. Excellent evaluation, Austin, and I'll tell you why. Not everybody is cut out to be a prepper. Scott's in there. Hey, Scott, glad you joined in tonight. Tim, all right, $5 American. $5 American. You buy, Yankee. There you go. Yes, you can call in if you wish. Our number is 516-453-9389. So there it is. There you have it. There you go. Let's see. Rob says he's having issues with the show freezing up. I haven't seen it on this end, so I don't know. Gary, do you have something you want to say?
You're pretty much hitting it on the head there on everything. So.
All right, sir. I appreciate your support and your confidence. Okay. They should move Guam. They should relabel the maps. Instead of California, relabel it Guam. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, people. And Austin says it's been a while since we had all three hosts on one show. Sometimes it happens. Tim says the North Korean hackers are causing issues with my show. I'm not surprised. All right. So Dale, yes. Jim W. Yes. We get that taken care of. Got that taken care of. All right. You know, sometimes guys don't forget. You know, while I'm talking here, I got to read and try to maintain my train of thought. So sometimes I do it. Yes, Guam will just capsize the night itself. Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, sir. What do you want to add?
I was curious. My thoughts are these Winter Olympics that are coming up in South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out why anybody would want to go over there and play sports.
They don't. Guess who's online?
That would be like the easiest target to hit at that point.
Okay. Guess who just called in? Go ahead, sir.
Howdy.
There he is.
How you guys doing today?
There he is. He's back. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Terry, back from the dead.
It's your educated hillbilly. He's got no hair, and he just don't care, and he's drinking a lot of beer. Terry Cox, how you guys doing?
Terry
Good.
Cox.
Where you been?
Yeah, I've been really, really busy. But, things are starting to calm down. I'm starting to catch back up on a lot of work around here.
Did you get that? Did you
And
get that
it
shooting
is
range put
Miller
together?
time.
You get that shooting range put together yet?
You know, I just got 2 loads of sand delivered today.
Very good.
And I'll be stacking that into some tires. I got a design laid out for a range, one for rifle and one for pistol.
Now, if you're planning on coming down to Terry's farm, remember, before you can step foot on his property, you got to eat a slice of bacon. That's a security measure.
Yes. Unless you're a professing Jew which is fine,
Which is fine.
then you must eat a piece of bacon. And if I had a Palestinian flag or ISIS flag, you'd have to walk on it.
All right. Hey, Terry,
Pass through this gate.
question for you,
Hey, I
buddy.
can eat a half a pound of bacon now.
You just need to eat one.
Yeah, you only get to enter one time, no stamp. Don't worry about it. You only get one piece of bacon.
And bacon and bacos don't count. So,
No, I want the real thing.
hey, Terry, what happened with that lot of ammo boxes that we were looking at? How much did that finally go for?
It went for somewhere around between $2 and $3 a can.
And there were how many?
How many cans were there?
Yeah, how many were on there? Do you remember?
Oh, one lot was like 2,800. Another lot was like 1,600 cans. Another lot was like 1,800 or something like that. I mean, we're talking about thousands. And also I talked to my local military supply store friend of mine.
Yeah. What do you think?
And he says that there's also an additional 12% that you must also pay on top of whatever winning bid.
12? Did you say 12?
That way the auction house makes some money.
Well, I understand they got to have those. I get that.
But so, it was really good to watch. It was very good to see how it really plays out. And if people are interested in doing this, if I got a couple guys saying, you know what, I'll chip in 100, I'll chip in 200, I'll chip in 500, that's fine. Maybe the local guy here at my local Army surplus store, he says sometimes he teams up with people. And I said, well, next time you want to do things like this, call me up. And because I didn't know he did it. But he just bought 3,000 ammo cans. So, his barn is like stacked full of ammo cans. And 3,000 ammo cans, it's going to take a little while for him to get rid of that.
What's he selling them for?
Something like 5 or 10, I think. He's got various kinds. Now, I just bought off of him. He had on sale was 40 millimeter ammo cans, 40 millimeter round ammo cans, and they're a lot larger than a regular ammo can.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little bit taller and longer, same width. And when you come down here, I got one for you, John.
Oh, good deal.
And and they got the good rubber seal. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm looking at these cans and I'm thinking, you know what? You could put a laptop in there. You can put a lot of different stuff in there, for like EMP.
Right now, the wheels are spinning in my head. Now, he has a whole barn full of ammo cans. I think he should cut a deal for my listeners.
Well, I can ask him.
Like a CRM.
But you probably have to buy a lot.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, how much is a lot? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I mean, the man's in it for business, so
I
he's trying to make
that.
money.
Well, so am I.
I mean, what can I say? I mean, I didn't approach him and say, hey, can I buy some of them off of you? I'm sure you can, but depends on how desperate he is to get rid of them.
Well, that's my.
You know how.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
But he's in the Army surplus thing. See, the business where he's at is half guns and ammo and half Army surplus, and so he handles all the Army surplus side of the house.
Should we go?
And,
Should you and I go see him when I get down there?
Oh yeah. You're gonna come see him.
I think we need to come see him.
You were talking about lensatic compasses.
Yeah.
Military grade lensatic compasses.
Yes, sir.
I was getting them for like $15.
Nice.
And you know, he'll give you a protractor.
I'm thinking things. I'm mulling things over here. Let's see what it.
But you know, like, but like I said, I'm right outside of military installation. I'm only like 30 miles from there, from my house. So for us to get a hold of the Army surplus and things like that is relatively cheap. Now, if you lived way out in the middle of nowhere and you're like a couple 100 miles from a military installation, or 100 miles, or you know, a lot farther, so things probably cost more because you know, supply, demand. How easy is it for him to get it? For him, all he has to do is drive over there and go get it. It's not like he has to have it shipped. So having military supply stores around here is not very hard. I know where several of them are.
Yeah, well, I think we need to go see him.
You know how it is. You know how when you scope out where you live,
mm-hmm.
in the 50-mile radius, you keep in the back of your mind, where are the military surplus stores? Where is the National Guard Armory? Where is the military installation? Where is the police station? You know, where are these different things? You know, in your area. Where's the electric company with all the electric supplies like transformers and things like that? So you or anything that could be hazardous, like if you had a nuclear dump site in some parts of the country, or if you had a sewage plant. You know, you want to know where assets are. You want to know where hazards are. So I kind of like got it in the back of my mind, you know, like where all of our military surplus stores are. Because I'm just kind of crazy like that, right? That's the way
You know, Ter, I'm thinking, you know, while you're talking, I'm thinking to myself, Terry's in a prime location, not too far from Fort Lost in the Woods. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, I got a pretty good feedback when we were trying to determine whether or not we had enough people that'd be interested in buying the ammo cans. Now I'm starting to wonder if Terry Kaz should be the CRN quartermaster.
Ooh, that's a lot of mail.
I'm just saying. Because what you say makes sense.
With that in mind, let's talk about that. If you had to mail something like, say, an ammo can, the mail usually runs not only just weight, but the size of the package.
Right.
The size of the package will most likely ding you faster than weight, unless you're shipping like lead bars or gold bars. I mean, an ammo can be large.
It can.
In comparison to, you know, I mean, so how much would it cost to ship that across the country or even halfway across the country?
Well, what service do you plan on
add that
using?
to the price of it cost to make it, plus whatever, if there's any kind of markup at all. To be honest with you, I think it would be cheaper for them to buy more local.
It might be, but who says
Just
anything? We don't have to pigeonhole ourselves into a particular product.
No,
you could buy.
But then again, you got things like the lensatic compass.
I was going to say that's small.
Now, that could be
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. You know
Yeah.
exactly where I'm going with this.
Or books, like copies of manuals. Get manuals down on CD or zip drives and sell the zip drives. And that way you can just throw a zip drive
what do you
in
think
your
of this
go bag,
idea?
and you can have all kinds of different manuals right there.
I want my listeners to put, it's time for you guys, listeners, feedback. What do you guys think about this? Should Terry be the quartermaster? I think so. What do you guys think about it?
Did I just got volunteered into a job?
Oh, no, sir. You talked yourself into this one. I just let you go.
Let that bird fly.
That's what
No, I don't know.
I mean, it's just something put out
I
there.
do whatever. Yeah, I do whatever I can for
You always
the
do.
organization.
You always do. You always do. And then you start making the case. I'm thinking, he's making a good case for himself to be supply man. I kind of like that. You get a few knickknacks here and there. We'll put it up there. Maybe, charge just enough to cover, your costs, maybe $1 or $2 to CRN and whatever shipping is. Listeners, what do you think? Yeah? No? You guys like this idea? Do you not like this idea? How about this? Listeners, do you have any special requests that Terry can look for? Or maybe go to his buddy in town there at the Army-Navy store and then go ahead and, have him look for his stuff. What do you guys think? I'm just curious. Because I kind of like this idea. I'm kind of digging it. I want to know what you listeners think. Because you guys are the ones that make CRN. Terry and I just, hang out and do whatever it is we do, which is,
Well, my degree's in business. Even though I'm an educated hillbilly, I got many talents. International mystery man of the world. But it's like you always have to look at things like supply and demand.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And supply and demand first. And then you got to look at the feasibility of cost efficiency. I mean, do people really want to pay for the shipping? For some people, it's, to be honest, be better for you to just get it local. Then again, maybe we can find such a great deal that it's like, you know what?
What?
People buy things off of eBay all the time. I mean,
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point.
What is that? What is that ding, ding? What is it?
That means I'm getting emails. I can't do anything about it. Actually,
I like to comment about that first question you had about somebody that's having a problem after 10 years of friendship.
Well, it's not a problem. He just wasn't sure about how he here we go. Here it is. I'll read it again, so we're all on the same. His issue is whether I should keep my mutual assistance group or try to combine to make a larger all-in-one group. I have 5 like-minded families. We all have children 5 and under. We frequently discuss issues we face and talk about best practices and preparedness. We are all in very similar situations in life, and we hike and camp together, but we have never really put it on the table to make a group. It's been mentioned, but everyone is pretty much go-it-alone types, and no one really wants to take that first step in commitment. We've also been friends for a minimum of 10 years. That's from Logan.
Yeah, well, that's legit. That's when people start figuring out that, you know what? We might all have the same goal here.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say start it off as informal. I mean, are you not already collecting supplies here and there? Are the other families collecting supplies,
Good
for
question.
example?
I don't know. Start it off with things like communication. Just communication.
So everybody has a way to communicate with each other, like ham radio handheld devices, and program them so that you have certain, at least 3 different stations that you can turn to,
Right.
and pre-program them. And then if shit hits the fan, you pull your handheld ham radios out, or whatever, wherever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it out of your EMP storage, and then try to contact each other, because cell phones don't work. But communication is so vitally important. Whether you're a 2 people getting married, whether you're a family, a church group, a company, a corporation, the military, international diplomacy, communication is normally the one thing that is most common when things fail. And when things fail, or when things are messed up some way or another, miscommunication could very well likely be the culprit. So communication is vitally important in emergency situations.
Mm-hmm.
So start off with communication. Get everybody on the same page with that.
There you go.
If everybody is on track with that, and if they can see the light, well, informally, you build from there. That way, nobody feels like they're totally committed. Well, I'm part of this group, and now everybody wants to do this. Man, here goes another $100. But maybe just test the waters. How does that sound?
I think when we were talking earlier about it, that's pretty much the consensus that the rest of us came up with. FYI, Gary, I know you're still hanging on there, buddy. I had to mute you. You had some nasty feedback coming back across there. So it's not that I'm not listening to you or being rude to you, pal. I just had to put you on mute so you stop that feedback. I just want him to know, because I know he's still listening. He listens by his phone, through his phone. So that's what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. What else we got here?
So,
no, go ahead, sir.
I wanted to mention something about this deal with North Korea. Something that's not being, I don't see any news agencies talking about it.
Go ahead.
And yes, I even stopped in CNN just to see what they were saying. And of course, CNN was not for Trump. It's all Trump's fault, which is
ridiculous.
stupid, because anybody that studies history that's been watching it for the last 25 years can tell you that it's not just Trump. Everybody's been pushing this ocean back with a broom for far too long, and Trump's like, you know what? I'm tired of using a broom. I'm not using a broom.
Time to deal with the problem.
We're building a wall. It's going to be huge. So, a lot of people are scared about the nukes. What they need to worry about, at least here in the mainland, okay, is that North Korea they're talking of, reports were coming out that North Korea was able to send a rocket up, but during re-entry, they were having problems with re-entry, right?
They couldn't hold they couldn't hold vehicle integrity upon re-entry.
Right. I mean, heat shields and stuff like that. Well, you know what? They were able to get that thing up there. In order to have re-entry coming in that's going to be burning up, you're looking at 20 or somewhere, what was it? From 20 to 50 miles,
Mm-hmm.
right? 20 to 50 miles is the, above sea level, is the burning stage and all. And then once it starts hitting 20 miles down to sea level, then it it's either nothing left or it's kind of blows out. It doesn't have the same effect when it re-entry. Anyways, nobody's saying anything about EMP. And all they have to do is get it up there. Anything above, I believe it's 50 or 55 miles above the earth. If they get it like 100 miles above the earth, which is just as easy as if they get it up there 80 miles, then all they have to do is detonate an EMP at the right spot, and we knock out all North America.
Yeah, but they got to put it. If they want to knock that out, they got to hit it. It has to be detonated at least, at the minimum, 150 miles above Nebraska. Now, let's see these morons, and I don't disagree with you. Let's see them do this. They try to do their EMP. It detonates. However, because they haven't got the guidance system quite down to where it needs to be, it could very well detonate over the Pacific. Or I can see them screwing up the EMP and blowing out China. Boy, there'd be a lot of big wide-eyed surprise in Pyongyang on something like that. We did what? Oh, yeah. Well, you know, the thing with Guam is this. If they choose to go that route, you're assuming they're going to go nuclear. What if they don't? What if it's just a conventional warhead? The bottom line is, and I'm thinking if they don't do it, it's piss poor planning. If you decide to go ahead and make your move, you launch on Guam. Whether it's shot down or not makes no difference. They will cross the DMZ after they obliterate Seoul, because they've got that city bracketed all along the DMZ. So it would be, I'll tell you, if I lived in Seoul, I'd be thinking about moving my family south towards, say, Daegu, somewhere across the Han River, because you don't want those bridges being knocked down. Because if you get the bridges knocked down along the Han River, you're going to trap a lot of people and condemn them when the deep prick military comes marching into Seoul. So I don't think Seoul could even be held. It might be able to be retaken later, but I just don't see it being held initially. So, but that's my that's my assessment. Obviously, the president has not called me and asked me for my expertise and my opinions. I'm disappointed. I think he should. But what am I going to do, right? So, no, I've not.
I mean, they've got enough artillery to hit every square mile or every half mile of South Korea. Just simply send up a shitload of artillery. There's no way in the world we'd be able to shoot them all down if they shot them all simultaneously, like within the first half hour or an hour.
No, I agree.
And a lot of people don't understand. A hailstorm is going to happen within the first hour of real shooting. A real shooting, once it really escalates and it's full blown,
they will burn. They'll burn out the artillery tubes. They'll be firing so fast, so much munitions, and South Korea is not going to lay down and take it. They're going to return. It'll be a mess. It will be a mess. Yeah.
It'll block out the sun. With all that shit.
It'll be a mess.
But it's like that movie 300 at the end. Yep. That movie 300, right?
Yeah.
When all the arrows came up and came down and hit him. That's what it would look like. There'd be so many artillery pieces are all over that place. And,
I'm sure
that's not even counting small arms that are on the DMZ.
I'm sure it's very tense along the DMZ right now. Very tense. I'm waiting to find out. Every once in a while I'll check out South Korean media, their English sites. I'm waiting for them to start prohibiting civilian traffic. I think there's a 3 mile wide corridor where they will take all civilians and move them out of the DMZ, right out of their homes. They're not allowed to travel. get them out of there and head them south. If that happens, that's probably because they're mobilizing. That'd be my guess. And I'm not surprised that they're not mobilizing now. Doing it very quietly, very slowly, but starting to get. I don't see.
I'll tell you what, if they evacuate that area by the DMZ, any kind of evacuation is going to hit international news quickly.
Quickly. I guarantee you the North has already done it. Guaranteed. Deep Pricks have already done it. The Rocks, we'll see what happens. It's going to be it's a very interesting time. And for you boys out there in the 29th Division, keep your heads down. Keep your cool. You'll make it out. Anyway. I believe, isn't the 29th the Black Horse Division? Is that Black Horse?
I don't know. I was never stationed in Korea.
Well, okay.
But yeah, there's no talk about EMP, you know.
Nope.
And personally, I think, according to reports about them having problems with re-entry, EMP. All right, if you consider, let's say they bomb Chicago or any place in the U.S., it's only going to affect so much of the U.S. Even if they hit L.A. and the trade winds pull it all the way east, it still wouldn't affect everybody so much. But if you did like an EMP high enough, it could take out half of the United States.
And
a total blackout.
And that in of itself is an act of war, and it will come down.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
sure. That's without a doubt. North Korea would be like just discontinue everybody who lives in North Korea, but they don't have any electricity over there anyways because it's fucking like a blackout over there. If you look at those nighttime satellite pictures,
it really is. Except for a few.
So for them to lose power is nothing.
Remember, you don't have to feed dead people. Simple economic fact. Something to think about. Does Fat Boy really care about his people? Probably not. And as long as I don't have to feed him, so much the better.
He's like the Korean fat bastard from
Get in my belly.
Power.
Fat bastard.
I want to eat your baby.
It's so wrong.
I want your baby in my belly.
It's wrong. All right. We're just about at the end of the show tonight. All right, buddy. Hey, Terry, thanks for calling in, buddy. And Gary, thank you also for calling in. Always enjoy having you on the air with us. Tonight, I want to thank all of you that joined us on the video feed. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good stuff. Good links. I will post those links after the show let me think. Who wanted it? Dale, Scott, and Austin. I will get you your CEOI after the show as well. So don't shut down your computer right away, you three. I may have to get some information from you so I know where to send it, all right? Terry, my favorite quartermaster. The quartermaster commander. That's you. That's your new title. Something to think about. Listeners,
at least you got to pick somebody that's honest.
Why wouldn't I? I'm listeners. If you like the idea, send me an email saying you like it. I'll forward it to Terry, so he knows I'm just not making this up. In the meantime,
or any kind of things that you have trouble finding.
You know what?
That you wish.
There you go. There you have it. There it is. Excellent. All right.
Also, when you come down here, John,
yeah,
I want you to come in and meet those folks that sell the T-shirts and the hats and stuff like that.
Yes.
They print them out here.
Yes. I may not get to it all, but always trudging forward, always forward. Always forward. You know,
You can make your CRN ink pens.
Ooh. You know, one thing I'm thinking about, too, is, maybe this scare with the North Koreans will jolt some people who've become somewhat blasé in their efforts to be preppers, to be patriots. Maybe this is a wake-up call. Perhaps you are now hearing this. That's right, the alarm clock going off. To let you know the world is dangerous. It is. Ideals are peaceful. History is violent. I heard that once, and I liked it. Thought I'd steal it, thought I'd use it. I have. All right. I want to thank all of you for calling in, for checking in, for listening to the show. I appreciate it. Tell your friends and family. Logan, I hope that gave you some kind of answer to your question. And thank you for sending it to me. Appreciate it, friend. As for the rest of you, as I always say, you know what? Before I do it, I haven't done it in a while, I want to do this. Terry, final word, go.
Oh, I'd say you need to start taking inventory of, like I was saying, your EMP stuff. Have you thought about communications with someone else? With your friends, your family? Have you thought about, what are you going to do if your car does break down? Do you have a bicycle? Do you have a motorcycle that without computer? Which I'm thinking about. Start looking around for motorcycle. So, think EMP, because they're not talking about it in the news.
They don't even know about it.
Sooner or later, they will.
Oh, no, they won't, because they're so
Amazing.
stuck on Russian collusion. They have no idea what the hell's going on in the real world. But you're right.
I bet you the Pentagon is wargaming that one.
You're damn right. They war game everything. You're right about that.
So go buy toilet paper.
Mr. Gary, final word. Go ahead, sir.
Well, Terry did a really good job on that. I'd definitely say keep preparing, keep a track of your inventory, and keep a sharp eye on the news because it's coming.
Oh, it might be. This is why we need neutron warheads. So much cleaner, so much easier. Less fallout, same deadly.
90 seconds.
Really good stuff. All right. I want to thank Terry and Gary for calling in. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of the week.
Thank you.
Terry, I'll be giving you a call a little bit later, pal.
Right, I'll be here.
I know. You're always there, my
Have a good one, guys.
Oh, hey, I got some news. My son is in St. Louis right now signing up for the National Guard. He swears in tomorrow.
You going to be there?
Yep, you know it.
60 seconds.
I expect pictures and video.
Oh, yeah.
All right, buddy.
Recruiter's going to take care of pictures. He's got a fancy camera, and he puts it on Facebook.
Nice.
But I'm going to videotape.
Very good, my friend. All right, then. What time does that happen? In the afternoon or morning?
Somewhere around 2:30.
All right.
Central Standard Time.
All right, then. To my prepper and patriot friends, I say to you this. Be safe, be alert, and be vigilant. If you have stopped prepping, keep going. Now it's more important than ever. Until next time, I'm John Jeffers here at the Contra Radio Network, along with Terry and Gary.
10
saying
seconds.
good night, and thanks for joining us.
Have a good one.